बिलावल की वार महला चौथा। एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद। श्लोक महला चौथा। हर उत्तम हर प्रभ गावया, करनाद बिलावल राग। उपदेश गुरु सुन मन्या, तुर मस्तक पूरा पाग। सब दिन सुरैण गुण उच्चरै, हर 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 उर लिव लाग। सब तन मन हरिया होया, मन खिड़िया हरिया बाग। अज्ञान अंधेरा मिट गया, गुर चानण ज्ञान चिराग। जन नानक जीवै देख हर, इक निमक कड़ी मुख लाग। I've sung the praises of God by singing the tunes, the rag of Bilawal music, and considered his greatness. The fortunate people predestined by God's will have followed Guru's message on listening to Guru's word. People who are imbued with love of God all the time, they sing the praise of God day and night. Their heart, body and mind is blossomed with God's love, just as the garden blossoms forth with the onset of flowers and greenery. Then the darkness of their ignorance disappears and they get enlightened by the light of Guru's knowledge. O Nanak, I enjoy leading this life by perceiving glimpse of Vaheguru without a moment's separation from him. महला तीजा। बिलावल तब ही कीजिए, जब मुख होवे नाम। राग नाद शब्द सोहणे, जा लागे सहज ध्यान। राग नाद छोड़ हर सेवियै, तां दरगह पाइयै मान। नानक गुरमुख ब्रह्म विचारियै, चूकै मन अभिमान। We should sing the tunes of Bilawal Rag music only when we are reciting God's true name with the tongue. It is only when we meditate on God in the state of equipoise that we love all the music, tunes and the Shabad of Guru's word. We could find honor and regard in God's presence only when we serve the God by leaving aside the love of tunes of various rags. O Nanak, we could cast away our egoism only when we meditate on God in the company of Guru-minded people. पौड़ी तू हर प्रभु आप गम है, सब तुधु पाया। तू आपे आप वर्तदा, सब जगत सबाया। तुध आपे ताड़ी लाइयै, आपे गुण गाया। हर ध्यावो भगत दिनस रात, अंत लय छड़ाया। जिन सेवया तिन सुख पाया, हर नाम समाया। O Vaheguru, you are great and limitless. You alone have created this universe. You are pervading throughout the world, and this whole worldly drama has been enacted by you. In fact, you alone are concentrating and meditating and singing the praises of God as a saint. O Vaheguru, let us worship you day and night, who helps us in the end to remove this worldly bondage. Whosoever has served the Guru has enjoyed the eternal bliss and is immersed in the recitation of God's true name. Shlok Mahalla Tija। दूजै पाए बिलावल न होवै, मन मुख थाय न पाए। पाखंड भगत न होवै, पार ब्रह्म न पाया जाए। मन हठ करम कमावणे, थाय न कोई पाए। नानक गुरमुख आप बिचारियै, विचों आप गवाए। आपे आप पार ब्रह्म है, पार ब्रह्म वस्या मन आए। जब मन मरना कट्टिया, ज्योति ज्योत मिलाए। O brother, one cannot enjoy the singing of Bilawal Rag, and the self-will people cannot attain God. One cannot worship God with formal rituals only. One cannot attain God sublime by formal rituals and practices of showing off. None of these actions performed with the insistence, the forced involvement of the mind are useful. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people could get rid of their egoism by meditating on God through Guru's guidance. People who inculcate the love of God in their heart, they become personification of God themselves. Then they are free from the bondage of cycle of births and deaths, and they get their soul merged with the prime soul. महल्ला तीजा बिलावल करे हो तुम प्यारे हो, एक स्यों लिवलाए जन्म मरण दुख कटिए, सच्चे रहे समाए सदा बिलावल आनंद है, जे चले सतगुर पाए सत संगति बह पाओ कर, सदा हर के गुण गाए नानक से जन सोहने, जे गुरमुख मेल मिलाए. O beloved friends, you could enjoy the bliss of the life by imbibing the love of God in the heart and sing the music of Bilawal Rag. Then you could get away from the sufferings of cycle of births and deaths by immersing in the meditation of God. People who follow Vaheguru's will, they enjoy the Bilawal tune of the music. They sing the praises of God with love and devotion in the company of the holy saints. O Nanak, such people are really beautiful and praiseworthy who have been united by God with Guru-minded person. Pauri sabna jiya vich har aap, so pagta ka mit har, sab koi har ke vas, pagta ke anand kar, हर भगतां का मिली सर्वत सौ, निसुल जन टंग तर, हर सबना का है खसम सो, भगत जन चित कर, तद अपड़ कोई न सकै, सब चख चख पवै चढ़. The God who is pervading all the beings is the true friend of the saints, who controls everyone else. That God is under the control of his own saints. The saints always enjoy the bliss of life within themselves. The holy saints, whose true friend is the God, they always function without any fear, being unmindful of the whole world. The saints always worship true Master, who is the God of all the beings, and inculcate his love in their heart. O Vaheguru, no one could ever approach you, you being beyond our comprehension, and all are desperate, having failed in their effort. Slok Mahilla Tija Brahm Bindhe Te Brahmana, Je Chale Satguru Paye, Jin Ke Hirday Har Vasai, Hau Mai Rog Gavaye. गुण रवै गुण संग रहै, ज्योति ज्योत मिलाए, इस जुग में विरले ब्राह्मण ब्रह्म बिंदै चित लाए. नानक जिनको नदर करे, हर सच्चा से नाम रहे लिवलाए. Such people who follow Guru's dictates and teachings, they are realized, and they are the true Brahmins. The people who inculcate the love of God in their heart, they get rid of their egoism, and they sing the praises of God, amassing the wealth of the virtues. They are enabled by God to merge their soul with the prime soul. There are hardly a few true Brahmins in this age of Kali Yuga who are imbued with the love of God and worship Him with devotion. O Nanak, such people who are blessed with God's grace, they are always immersed in the recitation of His true name. Mahalla Tija Satgur ki sevna kitiya, Shabad na lago pa, हो मैं रोग कमावना, अत दीरघ बहु सुआव। मन हठ कर्म कमावणे फिर जोनी पाए। गुरमुख जन्म सफल है जिसनो आपे लय मिलाए। नानक नदरी नदर करे ता नाम तन पल्लै पाए। Such people who have not served the Satguru with love in the Guru's word, they are suffering from the pangs of egoism because of their involvement in love of vicious and sinful actions. They are passed through cycle of births and deaths as they function under the influence of their mind. The Guru-minded people, they lead a fruitful life as they are united by the God with Himself. O Nanak, when God bestows His grace on us, then only we are blessed with the wealth of true name in our hearts. Pauri sab vadiyayan har naam vich har gurmukh dhyaye. जे वस्तु मंगिए साई पाइए। जे नाम चित लाइए गुह जगल जी की कीचै। सतगुरु पास ता सर्ब सुख पाइए। गुरपुरा हर उपदेश दे सब पुख लह जाइए। जिस पूरब होवे लिखिया सो हर गुण गाइए। The Guru-minded people are always imbued with the love of God's true name, as all the virtues and greatness lies in the recitation of true name. If we were to inculcate the love of true name in our heart, we get all our worldly desires fulfilled, acquiring everything we have wished for. We could gain all the joy and comforts of life if we were to disclose all our hidden desires to the true Guru. We got all our hunger satiated once we followed Guru's teachings, but only the fortunate people alone who are predestined by God's will, they sing the praises of God. Shlok Mahalla Tija Satgur te khali ko nahi mera prabh mel milaye। सतगुर का दर्शन सफल है जेहा को इच्छे तेहा फल पाए। गुर का शब्द अमृत है सब तृष्णा भुख गवाए। हर रस पी संतोख हुआ सच वस्या मन आए। सच त्याए अमरा पद पाया अनहद शब्द बजाए। सच्चो दह दिस पसरिया गुर कै सह सुभाए। नानक जिन अंदर सच है से जन छप है ना किसै दे छपाए। The true Guru has enabled everyone to merge with the God, and no one goes empty-handed from him. The glimpse of the Guru is fruitful, and one gets all the desires fulfilled by having his glimpse. Guru's word is like the nectar of true name that satisfies the hungers and quenches the fire of worldly desires. People who inculcate love of true God in their hearts, they become peaceful by partaking the nectar of true name. Such people who have recited true name and listened to all pervasive unstrung music of nature, they become immortal in this world. They have perceived the God pervading in all 10 directions by following Guru's word in the state of equipoise. O Nanak, people who are imbued with love of truth, they never remain hidden. Notwithstanding all the efforts, they are acclaimed everywhere. Mahalla Tija Gur Seva te har paaye। जा को नदर करे मानस ते देवते भये। सच्ची भगत जिस दे हों मैं मार मिलायन गुर कै शब्द सुचे। नानक सहजे मिल रहे नाम वड्याई दे। We could attain the God by serving Him through His grace. Such people are converted into gods from human beings in case they are blessed with the true worship of God. The person who have been purified with Guru's word is united with God by ridding of egoism. O Nanak, such a person who is bestowed with the boon of true name is united with God automatically in the state of equipoise. Pauri Guru Satguru Vich Navai Ki Vadi Vadiai Har Kartai Aap Vadhai सेवक सिख सब वेख वेख जीवन ओना अंदर हृदय पाई निंदक दुष्ट वड्याई वेख न सकन ओना पराया भला न सुखाई क्या होवै किस ही की चख मारी जा सच्चे स्यों बणियाई जे गल करते पावै सा नित नित चढ़ै सवाई सब चख चख मरै लुकाई. The God Creator Himself has bestowed the greatness of true name on the true Guru, Satguru. Sikhs and devotees are thrilled by it as they love it. However, the slanderers and sinners cannot tolerate the praises of the Guru as they cannot stand the praise and well-being of others. But no harm could be done to someone who has developed the love and gained the pleasure of God. Whatever pleases the God Creator gains more acceptance in the world, whereas the slanderers face desperation and destruction. Slok Mahila Tija Trige Asa Duje Pavaki Jo Muh Maya Chitlai हर सुख पलर त्या गया नाम विसार दुख पाए मनमुख ज्ञानी अंधले जन्मे मरे फिर आवे जाए कारज सिद्ध न होवनी अंत गया पछताए जिस कर्म होवे तिस सतगुर मिलै सो हर हर नाम ध्याए नाम रते जन सदा सुख पायन जन नानक तिन बल जाए. Cursed be the hopes based on dual-mindedness that leads one to develop the love of worldly falsehood. People who have forsaken God's true name, considering it without any bliss, they suffer being unaware of true name. Ignorant, blind fools, devoid of any spiritual knowledge, they are passed through the cycle of births and deaths, facing rebirths time and again. Finally, they leave the world in disgust and repentance as they are not able to complete any of their tasks successfully. However, the people who are fortunate and predestined by God's will, they get the company of the Guru. O Nanak, I would offer myself as a sacrifice to people who are imbued with the love of God and they enjoy the bliss of life. Mahalla Tija Asa Manasa Jag Mohani Jin Mohya Sansar सबको जम के चीरे विच है जेता सब आकार हुक्मी ही जम लगदा सो परै जिस बख्शै करतार नानक गुर प्रसादिए हो मन तातरै जा छोड़ै अहंकार आसा मनसा मारे निरास होए Gur Shabdi Vichar. This Maya, worldly falsehood, has enamored the whole world. As this man gets attracted with worldly hopes and desires, the whole world that we perceive is under the control of Shama, the god of death. It is through God's will that one gets into clutches of Yama, but escape this bondage if bestowed with God's grace. O Nanak, this mind, leaving the egoistic tendencies, could attain salvation through Guru's grace. When this woman casts away hope of acquiring more worldly possessions through Guru's word, then one can attain salvation. पौड़ी जिथे जाए जगत में तिथे हर साई अज्ञे सब आपे वर्तदा हर सच्चा न्याय कूड़े आरा के मुँह फिट किए हैं सच भगत वड्याई सच साहिब सच्चा न्याय है सिर निंदक छाई जन नानक सच राधिया गुरमुख सुख पाई. Wherever we abide in the world, we find the same true Master pervading there. Even in the next world, the same God is present, who is the God full of justice. Those who are true saints, they get praised and acclaimed, but those who are unreal false ones, they are disgraced and rebuked by the God. He dispenses true and correct justice on all, and the vilifiers are disgraced with ash thrown on their head. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people have enjoyed the comforts and bliss of life by worshipping the true God and reciting true name. Shlok Mahalla Tija Pure Pag Satgur Paye Je Har Prabhu Baksha Kare उपावा सिरो पाव है नाव प्राप्त होए अंदर शीतल शांत है हृदय सदा सुख होए अमृत खाना पहनना नानक नाए वड्याई होए. महला तीजा ए मन गुर की सिख सुन पाए गुणी निधान सुखदाता तेरे मन वसै हाँ मैं जाय अभिमान नानक नदरी पाए अमृत गुणी निधान. We could attain the true Guru if the God bestows on us the good fortune as predestined by His will. The greatest favor and effort of all is the attainment of God's true name through Guru's guidance. Thus we could attain peace and tranquility of mind, enjoying the eternal bliss in the heart. O Nanak, such people who are blessed with the boon of true name, they attain the nectar of true name and lead a fruitful life, partaking the food of this true name. Mahalla Tija, O dear mind, you will attain the treasure of virtues, the true God, by listening to Guru's teachings. When you imbibe God's teachings, inculcate the love of God benefactor in your heart, you will get rid of your egoism. O Nanak, we could attain the nectar of true name through the grace of God, the fountainhead of all virtues. पौड़ी जितने पातशाह शाह राजे खानो मराव सिखदार हैं तितने सब हर के किए जो किछ हर करावे सो ओए करहे सब हर के अर्थिए सो ऐसा हर सबना का प्रभ सतगुर कैवल है तिन सब वरन चारे खाणी सब सृष्ट गोले कर सतगुर आज्ञाकार कमावण को दिए हर सेवे की ऐसी वड्याई देखो हर संतो जिन विचों काया नगरी दुश्मन दूत सब मार कढिए हर हर कृपाल होवा भगत जना ऊपर हर अपनी कृपा कर हर आप रख लिए. All the king emperors, landlords or rich financiers Rajas, Khans, and men of high status have been created by God alone. All of them are like beggars before the God, and they perform those actions as directed by God as per His will. All the four Varunas, like Brahman and Khatris, the four sources of creation of the world, they are like the slaves of true God who follow His dictates and function according to His will, as the true Master of the whole universe is on the side of the true Guru. O holy saints, the beloved ones of the God, by serving the God, one gets the favor and praise of the true Master, so that one can cast away from this body all the vices. By throwing them out, the God has been kind and benevolent to His saints by all means, and He has protected them through His grace. श्लोक महला तीजा। अंदर कपट सदा दुख है, मन मुख ध्यान न लागे। दुख विचकार कमावणी, दुख वरतै दुख आगे। करमी सतगुर पेटियै, ता सच नाम लिव लागे। नानक सहजे सुख होए, अंदरों परम पाओ पागै। महला तीजा। गुरमुख सदा हर रंग है, हर का नाउ मन पाया। गुरमुख वेखण बोलना, नाम जपत सुख पाया। नानक गुरमुख ज्ञान प्रगासया, तिमिर अज्ञान अंधेर चुकाया। The faithless people who are engrossed in vicious thoughts and sinful actions, they always undergo sufferings as they are never imbued with the love of God. Such people who had functioned earlier with afflictions and vices have suffered now and will undergo sufferings in future as well, depending upon their sinful actions during this life. If someone gets united with true Guru through his grace, then one inculcates the love of true name in one's heart. O Nanak, they enjoy the joy and the bliss of life by getting rid of their doubts, whims, fear, and dual-mindedness. Mahalla Tija, the Guru-minded people, they always enjoy the bliss of reciting true name. They are imbued with its love in the heart. The Guru-minded people, they remain engaged in recitation of true name. In their talk or perception, they enjoy the eternal bliss by reciting true name. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people are enlightened with the knowledge of God, which has removed the darkness of ignorance from their hearts. Mahalla Tija. मनमुख मैले मरे गवार, गुरमुख निर्मल हर राखिया उरतार। पनत नानक सुनो जन पाई, सतगुर सेवियो हो मैं मल जाए। अंदर संसार दुख व्यापे, सिर तंदा नित मार। दूजै पाए सूते कभू न जागे, माया मोह प्यार। नाम न चेते शब्द न विचार, एव मन मुख का विचार। हर नाम न पाया, बिरथा जन्म गवाया। नानक जम मार करे खुआर। The faithless people, they suffer the pangs of cycle of births and deaths due to their impure mind, whereas the Guru-minded people, they remain purified with the support of God's true name. Says Nanak, O brother, listen to me. We could get rid of our egoism, and it's filled with the service of the true Guru. The faithless people are always engrossed in various useless actions as they suffer from doubts or dual-mindedness. Such people are lying in slumber of ignorance, and they never wake up with the light of knowledge, as they are functioning with the love of Maya, worldly falsehood. The self-will, faithless people, they neither recite true name nor meditate on Guru's word, as this is their main nature, their characteristics. O Nanak, such faithless people, they waste this human life without developing the love of true name, and then the Yama punishes them with death and disgrace of their sinful actions. Pauri जिसनो हर भगत सच बख्शियन सो सच्चा शाह तिसकी मुहताजी लोक कढदा होरत हटना वथ ना विसाह भगत जना को सन्मुख होवे सो हर रास लय वे मुख पस पाहो हर के नाम के व्यापारी हर भगत है जम जगाती तिन्ना नेड़ ना जाहो जन नानक हर नाम तन लद्या सदा वे परवाह. Such people who are blessed with truth and true worship, they are like a true king. The whole world approaches such a person for favors, as this merchandise of true name is not available at any other shop anywhere else. People enjoying the company of holy saints attain the nectar of true name, whereas the faithless ones, they get disgraced with dust thrown in their head. The saints are the dealers in true names of God. Even the Yama, collector of fines, never come near them. O Nanak, the devotee who has amassed the wealth of true name remains unbothered and carefree from the worldly attachments or possessions. श्लोक महला तीजा इस युग में भगति हर तन खटिया होर सब जगत परम पुलाया गुर प्रसादी नाम मन वसया अन दिन नाम ते आया बिख्या माही उदास है हौं में शब्द जलाया आप तरया कुल उद्धरे तन जने दी माया सदा सहज सुख मन वसया सच्चे स्यों लिव लाया ब्रह्मा विष्णु महादेव त्रैगुण फूले हों में मुँह बधाया पंडित पढ़ पढ़ मुनि फूले दूजय पाए चित लाया जोगी जंगम सन्यासी फूले विण गुर तत् न पाया मन मुख दुखिए सदा प्रम फूले तिन्हीं बिरथा जन्म गवाया नानक नाम रते से जन समझे जे आपे बख्श मिलाया. In this age of Kalyug, the whole world is lost in whims and doubts, whereas the saints have gained, amassed the wealth of true name of God. People who have inculcated the love of true name in their hearts through Guru's grace, they have recited the true name day and night. Such a person remains detached, although surrounded by the worldly falsehood, and such a person casts away all the egoism with the help of Guru's word. Blessed is the mother of a person who has given birth to such a noble soul, who has attained salvation himself and helped many others and the whole family towards the salvation. Such being imbibes the love of true God in one's heart and enjoys the bliss and peace of mind in the state of equipoise. All the gods, like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they had been engrossed in the three-pronged Maya, worldly falsehood of lust for power, greed, and peace, having encouraged their egoism and worldly attachment. The Pandits, with their knowledge of Vedas and Munis, mendicants, with their observing silence, have been lost in their love for dual-mindedness. Even the yogis, sannyasis, and mendicants have been lost in useless efforts without realizing truth through the Guru's guidance. Even the self-will, faithless people, they waste this human life undergoing sufferings due to their doubts and dual-mindedness. O Nanak, the fortunate people who have been imbued with the love of true name through the grace and benevolence of God, they have realized the truth and they attain perfection. Mahalla Tija Nanak so salahiya जिस वस सब किछ होए तिसे सरेवो प्राणी हो तिस बिन अवर न कोय गुरमुख अंतर मन वसै सदा सदा सुख होए. O Nanak, let us sing the praises of God who is controlling the whole world. O human, let us observe, let us serve the God as there is none else except Him controlling this universe. The Guru-minded people have always enjoyed the eternal bliss by inculcating the love of God in their hearts. Pauri जिन्ने गुरमुख हर नाम तन ना खट्यो से देवालिए जुग माहे ओए मंग दे फिरें सब जगत में कोई मुँह थुक न तिन को पाहे पराई बखीली करें आपनी परतीत खोवन सगवा भी आप लखाए जिस तन कारण चुगली करे सो तन चुगली हाथ न आवे होए पावे तिथे जाए गुरमुख सेवक पाए हर तन मिले तिथो कर्महीन ले ना सके होर थे देस दिसंतर हर तन नाहे. People who have not gained the wealth of true name through Guru guidance, they have lost everything. In this age of Kal Yuga, they have declared themselves penniless. Such people, they are beggars seeking alms from others, but no one even looks at them or even spits at them, being totally discarded in this world. They have lost faith in themselves, being engrossed in the vilification of others, and they are called the fools and slanderers throughout. Such people have not gained the wealth through vilification, for sake of which they had been engaged in the slandering of others, even though they have wandered all over the world as they liked. The wealth of true name could be attained by being the slaves of Guru-minded people, but the unfortunate faithless people have not gained this wealth by wandering in distant lands, as it is not to be found there. Slok Mahalla Tija Gurmukh Sansar Mool na howe चिंता विचों जाए जो किछ होए सो सहजे होए कहना किछु न जाए नानक तिनका आखे आप सुने जे लयन पन्ने पाए The Guru-minded people are never laboring under any doubts or misgivings. They have given up all their fears and worries. Whatever is happening comes to pass automatically in the normal course, effortlessly, and they follow God's will without the murmur. They do not comment on the good or bad events. O Nanak, the God Himself listens to their prayers, to their talk, as He has enabled them to seek His support. महला तीजा काल मार मन साम नहीं समाणी अंतर निर्मल नावा अन दिन जागे कदे न सोए सहजे अमृत प्याव मीठा बोले अमृत वाणी अन दिन हर गुण गाओ निज कर वासा सदा सहदे नानक तिन मिलया सुख पाओ. They have developed the love of true name in their hearts. They have overcome their hopes and desires and freed themselves from death, the cycle of births and deaths. They are always awake with enlightenment from the slumber of ignorance. They are awakened and they have recited the nectar of true name by partaking it. They are singing praises of God day and night, and their speech is sweet, using the nectar of Guru's word in their talk. O Nanak, we could enjoy all the comforts by meeting them in their company, as they are honored, having attained self-realization. Pauri har tan ratan jave hari, so Guru har tan har paas devaya. जे किसे केहो दिस आवे ता कोई केहो मंगले अक्कै कोई केहो दिवाए एहो हर तन जोर कितै किसे नाल न जाए वंडाया. The God has bestowed us with the jewel of wealth of true name through Guru's guidance. This treasure of true name is not available with anyone else except the God Himself. This wealth cannot be gained with force from anyone else by our efforts except through Guru's guidance. No one can take a share of this wealth of God by force. जिसनो सतगुरु नाल हर श्रद्धा लाए तिस हर तन की वंड हाथ आवे जिसनो करतै तुर लिख पाया इस हर तन का कोई शरीक नाही किसै का खत नाही किसै के सीव बन्ने रोल नाही जे को हर तन की बखीली करे तिस का मुह हर चौह कुंडा विच काला कराया हर के दिते नाल किसै जोर बखीली न चलई देह देह नित नित चढ़ै सवाया. He alone obtains the share of the wealth of the God who is blessed by the Creator with faith and devotion to the true Guru according to one's preordained destiny. There is no other parallel or equal to this treasure of true name. There is no possibility to pass on this wealth to someone else. There is no limit or boundary of this wealth. Moreover, the slanderer of this wealth of true name gets disgraced and discredited all over the world. The benedictions and favors of the God are not attained by force or through slandering, and they go on increasing with passage of time every day. Shlok Mahalla Tija Jagat Jalanda Rakhla Apni Kirpa Tar Jit Dware Upare Titele Obar. सतगुरु सुख विखालिया सच्चा शब्द विचार नानक अवर न सुचई हर बिन बख्शन हार. O Vaheguru, may you save this world from the burning effects of vices like phantom desires and anger through your grace. May you protect this world by any means as it pleases you or is possible to save it. The true Guru has enabled the Guru-minded people to enjoy the comforts and bliss of life by meditating on Guru's word. O Nanak, we do not find any other power on par with God Benefactor who could save this world. Mahalla Tija, Ho me Maya Mohini, Duje Lagya Jai, Nai Himari Namare, Nai Hat Vikai, Gur Ke Shabad Par Jaliye, Tai Vicho Jai, तन मन होवे उज्जला नाम वसै मन आए नानक माया का मारण शब्द है गुरमुख पाया जाए. This human being is engrossed in dual-mindedness due to love of Maya, worldly falsehood, which has ensnared everyone. Neither this Maya could be destroyed by anyone, nor it gets subdued by itself. Moreover, it cannot be sold at any shop or by any other means. But when it is burnt in the fire of Guru's word, then it could be destroyed and cast away. When one develops the love of true name within oneself, the body and mind gets purified. O Nanak, the only way to destroy this Maya is through Guru's word, which could be gained through his guidance. Pauri Sat Guru ki वड्याई सतगुर दित्ती तुरो हुक्म बुझनी सार पुत्ती पाती जवाई सक्की अको पिछो टोल डिठा लाहन सबना का अभिमान जिथे को है तिथे मेरा सतगुरु हर बख्शियोस सब जहान जे सतगुर नो मिल मन्ने सो हलत पलत से छै जे वे मुख होवै सो फिरै परिष्ट थान जन नानक केवल होआ मेरा स्वामी हर सज्जन पुरख सुजान पौधी पित देख के सब आए पे सतगुर की पैरी लाह्युन सबना के मनो गुमान. The greatness and praises of Guru have been bestowed by God's grace as per his will from the beginning. All the relatives like son, nephews, son-in-law or others including parents-in-laws were examined, and with his service in view he was bestowed with this honor and accepted by everyone as Satguru by casting away everyone's egoism. Now the true Guru is seen pervading everywhere where we look around, and the whole world pays obeisance to him. Whosoever follows Guru's dictates gets honored both here and hereafter. However, the person devoid of Guru's faith is thrown into hell. O Nanak, when the God becomes our friend and supporter, then the slave becomes acclaimed by everyone. The whole world then pays respect to the Guru on seeing the greatness and praiseworthiness of that Guru. The egoism of others is also removed, and the Guru gets respect by the whole world. श्लोक महला पहला कोई वाहे कुलुणे को पाए खलिहान नानक एव न जापई कोई खाए निदान. महला पहला जिस मन वसया तरया सोए नानक जो पावे सोए. Some farmers plant the seed, some harvest the crop, and still there are others who beats the grain from the chaff. O Nanak, it is however not known, who will finally make use of this food and eat the grains. Mahalla Pehla. Such people who have inculcated the love of God in their heart, they cross this ocean of life successfully. O Nanak, whatever pleases God comes to pass in this world. Pauri Parabrum Dayal Sagar Tariya Gurupure Mihirvan Param Pau Marya Kam Krodh Bikaral Dut Savharya Amrit Nam Nidhan Kant Ur Tariya Nanak Sadhu Sang Janam Maran Savarya. The God benefactor has enabled us to cross this ocean of life successfully. The perfect Guru, through his grace and benevolence, has helped us to remove all our doubts and fear. Even the horrible group of demons like wanton desires, anger, they have lost their value before such a person. Such a person has attained the nectar of true name and inculcated in his heart. O Nanak, this being, through the company of holy saints, has attained salvation and escaped the cycle of births and deaths. Slok Mahalla Tija Jinni Naam Visarya Kude Kehn Kahan Panch Chor Tinna Kar Mohan Home Andar San Sakat Muthe Durmati हर रस ना जानन जिन्ने अमृत परम लुटाया बिख स्यों रचे रचन दुष्टा सेती पिरहड़ी जन स्यों वाद करन नानक साकत नरक में जम बद्धे दुख सहन भैया किरत कमाव दे जीव राखे Such people who have forsaken God's true name, they are pastured by relating the false or unreal stories of the God. They are being robbed by 5 vices, and their egoism is robbing them from within. By this theft, the faithless people, they are being robbed by 5 vices like wanton desires, without knowing the taste of nectar of true name. Faithless people, due to dual-mindedness, they waste the nectar of God's worship, thus getting engrossed in vicious and sinful actions. They are friendly towards sinners and their travels, whereas they are inimical towards holy saints. O Nanak, the faithless people are punished by Yama, chained in the bondage of hell. They function as directed by God's will, and they are pleased in this state. They are kept by the God. Mahalla Tija Jinni Sadgur Sevya Tan Nitane Tes Sas Giras Sada Manvasai Jam Jo Hina Sakai Tes Hriday Har Har Naam Ras Kavla Sevak Tis Har Dasa Ka Das Hoye Param Padarat Tis Nanak Man Tan Jis Prabhu Vasai Hau Sad Kurbane Tis Jinko Purab Likhya Ras Sant Jana Syo Tis. The helpless people who have served the Guru, they find their strength in the divine God. The Yama cannot cause any sufferings to such people who recite true name with every breath or morsel of food. Such people who are imbued with the love of God, they are served by the Maya. Whosoever is the slave of the slaves of God, they attain salvation. O Nanak, I am a sacrifice to the person who has inculcated the love of God in the heart. Such people who are predestined by God's will get friendly towards the saints. Pauri Jo bole pura Satguru So Paramesar Sunaya Soi Varthya Jagat Mein Kat Kat Mukh Padya Bahut Vadiya Sahib ने जाही गणिया। सच सहज आनंद सतगुरु पास सच्ची गुरमणिया। नानक संत सवारे पार ब्रह्म सच्चे ज्यों बणिया। The God listens to whatever has been stated by the Guru. It is the Guru's word only which prevails in the world. The Guru is full of virtues which cannot be evaluated. The Guru possesses the state of bliss and equipoise which is praiseworthy. O Nanak, the saints who have been honoured by the God have become praiseworthy like God Himself. श्लोक महला तीजा। अपना अपना पछाणे हर प्रभ जाता दूर। गुर की सेवा विसरी क्यों मन रहे हजूर। मन मुख जन्म गवाया झूठे लालच कूर। नानक बख्श मिलायन सच्चे शब्द हदूर। Person who has not attained self-realization has considered the God as a distant entity. How could such a person's heart be close to the Guru when he's forgotten the service of the Guru? The self-willed faithless people, they waste their life having developed love for the greed of worldly possessions. O Nanak, the God has united such people with Himself by pardoning their sinful actions as they followed Guru's word, being accepted as His devotees. Mahalla tija har prabh saccha sohela gurmukh naam govind anandin naam salahana har japya man anand vadpagi har paya पूरन परमानंद जन नानक नाम सलाहया बहुर न मन तन पंग. People who have sung the praises of true God and recited true name in the company of Guru-minded people, they have enjoyed the eternal bliss by reciting true name day and night. They have attained the God, being fortunate, and enjoyed the bliss of life. O Nanak, by singing the praises of God, the devotees have cast away the worries of the body and mind. Pauri कोई निंदक होवे सतगुरु का फिर शरण गुर आवे पिछले गुन्हे सतगुरु बख्श लहे सतसंगत नाल रलावे ज्यों मीह उठे गलियां नालियां टोभियां का जल जाए पवै विच सुरसरी सुरसरी मिलत पवित्र पावन होए जावे. ਇਹ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਤ ਮਿਲਿਐ ਤਿਸਨਾ ਭੁਖ ਉਤਰੈ ਹਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਤੜ ਆਵੈ. ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹੋ ਅਚਰਜ ਦੇਖੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਸ਼ਾਹਕਾਰ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੋ ਮੰਨੈ ਸੋ ਸਭਨਾ ਪਾਵੈ ਸ਼ੁਧ. If some vilifier of Guru seeks Sadguru's pardon by taking refuge at his lotus feet, then that person gets united with the company of holy saints by the Guru, pardoning all the earlier sins, just as the water of drains mingle with the river Ganga and gets purified by mixing with it. Similarly, this is the greatness and grandeur of the Sadguru, who has no enmity for anyone, that in his company one loses all the hunger and fire of worldly possessions, resulting in the peace of one's mind due to the love of divine God. O Nanak, see the wonderful drama of true Master, my beloved God, that the person following Guru's word is always loved by everyone else. बिलावल बाणी भगता की कबीर जियो की एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख गुर प्रसाद. ऐसो इहो संसार पेखना रहन को पै रे। सूधे सूधे रेग चलो तुम नतर कुध का दिवैया रे। रहाओ। O brother, this world is such a false and unreal place where no one could stay in peace. Let us follow the straight path leading to the God, otherwise that God would enable us to be thrown by Dharamraj, the God of justice, into hell. Pause. बारे बूढ़े तरुणे भैया सब जमल जय हरे। मानस बपुरा मूसा कीनो मीच बिलैया खै हरे। तनवंता और निर्धन मनई ताकि कछु न कानी रे। राजा परजा समकर मारै ऐसो काल बडानी रे। All the people, including children, old men, or younger ones, will be taken away from this world by the Yama. People, they behave like a rat, while the death in the form of cat takes away their life. All the wealthy people or the poor ones cannot placate this death. But the God of death is such a great and wonderful thing that it kills both kings and its subjects alike without any distinction. हर के सेवक जो हर पाए तिनकी कथा निरारी रे। आवे न जाए न कभू मरते पार ब्रह्म संगारी रे। पुत्र कलत्र लक्ष्मी माया यह तजो जी जानी रे। कहत कबीर सुनो रे संतो मिली है सारंग पानी रे। The story of the devotees of the God who are loved by the God is completely distinct from the others. They always abide with Him and they never die or be born again while going through the cycle of births and deaths. O Kabir, all the love of son, wife, wealth or maya which we consider as real and true is liable to be deceptive, which should be discarded. O saints, listen to me. This is how we could unite with the God. बिलावल विद्या न परो बाद नाई जानो। हर गुण कथत सुनत बहुरानो। मेरे बाबा सब खलक सियानी में बौरा। मैं बिगड़े मत औरा रहा। I have become mad, completely immersed by listening and describing the praises of God, and I neither studied nor I get involved in the wrangles of this world. Oh my friend, I am mad, whereas the whole world is very wise, and I am completely upset. I am completely spoiled, but I do not want anyone else to suffer along with me. Pause. आपनो भौरा राम कियो भौरा। सतगुरु जार गयो प्रम मोरा। मैं बिगड़े अपनी मत खोई मेरे परम फूलो मत कोई। सो भौरा जो आप ना पछाने आप पछाने ताई कै जाने। अभय न माता सो कब हो न माता। कहे कबीर राम रंग राता। But I have become mad, completely absorbed because of the God's love and not due to my own doings. The true Guru has burnt and cast away all my doubts and my dual-mindedness. I have lost my senses as I am completely spoiled and become mad. Let no one forget my doubts and dual-mindedness. The person is really mad who has not attained self-realization, but having realized my true self, I have been enabled to attain the God. O Kabir, the person who has not realized the love of God in this life will never get enamored by the love of anyone else. This is what Kabir says, being imbued with the love of God. बिलावल ग्रही तज बन खंड जाय चुन खाय कंदा अजो बिकार न छोड़े पापी मन मंदा क्यों छूटो कैसे तरो पवजल निध पारी राख राख मेरा बिठला जन शरण तुम्हारी रहाओ बिखै बिखै की वासना तजी न जाई अनिक जतन कर राखिए फिर लपटाई Even if we were to leave the protection of the house and roam around the jungles while eating the fruits, leaves, or other flowers, but then still this mind does not leave the vicious and sinful actions, remaining impure with such filthy thoughts. How could we cross this arduous ocean of life successfully and free ourselves from the worldly bondage? O beloved God, may you protect us as we have sought your support. We cannot get rid of the vices and sins of various types. In spite of many efforts, this filthy mind is always engrossed in sinful actions. जरा जीवन जो बन गया किछ किया ननी का एहो जीरा निर्मूल को कौड़ी लगमी का कहो कबीर मेरे माधवा तू सर्व व्यापी तुम संसर नाहि दयाल मुहि समसर पापी The youth has gone and old age has approached without any fruitful actions, but nothing has been achieved so far. This invaluable life, which was like the priceless jewel, has been reduced to the level of a valueless thing. O Kabir, my God is pervading everywhere, being omnipresent. In fact, there is no other benefactor like him and no other sinner like me. बिलावल नित उठ कोरी गागर आने लीपत जियो गयो ताना बाना कछु न सूझे हर हर रस लपटेओ हमारे कुल कौने राम कहो जबकि माला लही निपूते तब ते सुख ना भयो रहाओ सुनो जिठानी सुनो दिरानी अचरज एक भयो सात सूत इन मुंडिये खोए ए मुंडिया क्यों ना मुयो The mother says, in the morning Kabir brings a new pitcher full of water, and by making the place smooth of Kabir's seat, we are fed up. But Kabir is always immersed in reciting the true name Hari Hari instead of weaving the warp and the woof of the weavers. No one has even worshipped the god Rama in our family. In fact, since the time this unfortunate son of ours has started holding the rosary in his hand, he started reciting true name. We have not enjoyed any bliss or comfort of life. Pause, O my sister-in-law, elder and younger one, listen to me. This has been a wonderful experience. This sun has wasted the yarn of 7 colors by giving them to the saints. Why has this child not died so far? सर्व सुखा का एक हर स्वामी सुगुर नाम दयो संत प्रहलाद की पैज जिन राखी हरनाखश नख बिदर्यो, करके देव पितर की छोड़ी, गुरु को शब्द लयो। कहत कबीर सगल पाप खंडन, संतह लय उधर्यो। The true master is the source of all bliss and joy, and the Guru has blessed me with the true name of the God who protected the honor of Prahlad the saint while killing Harnakash with his nails. This saint had forsaken the teachings of the teachers like Sunday and Marke or the kingdom of his father, whereas he has followed the teachings of Narad the Guru. O Kabir, the God Protector has saved the honor of his saints by casting away all their sins. बिलावल को हर समान नहीं राजा, ए भूपत सब दिवस चार के, झूठे करत दिवाजा। रहाओ तेरो जन होए सोए, कत डोलै तीन भवन पर छाजा। हाथ पसार सकै को जन को, बोल सकै ना अंदाजा। चेत अचेत मूड मन मेरे, बाजे अनहद बाजा। कह कबीर संसा प्रमछु को, त्रु प्रहलाद निवाजा। There is no great king as great as God himself. All these worldly kings are temporary, lasting only for a short while, but they are putting up false claims of being permanent. Pause. O Vaheguru, your devotee, do not waver or falter from the true path, as they are the king of three worlds, whose reach runs throughout the three worlds. Who is there who could withhold such a devotee of yours from worship, as no one could even use a rude language against them? O my foolish mind, you should worship such a God benefactor, so that you will be honored in all the three worlds. O Kabir, the God has removed all my doubts and whims, as he has protected our honor, just as he has saved the saint like Dhruv and Prahlad. बिलावल राख लियो हम ते बिगरी, सील धर्म जप भगत न कीने, हाउ अभिमान टेढ़ पगड़ी। रहाओ अमर जान संचिए काया, ए मिथ्या काची गगरी। जिन्हें निवाज साज हम किए, तिसे विसार अवर लगरी। O Divine God, may you protect our honor, as we have committed a great sin by neglecting your worship of 9 types like meditation and religious duties or patience, and we have developed such egoistic tendencies. Pause. We looked after this human body with great care, considering it immortal, whereas it was temporary and unreal like a picture. We have developed love of the worldly possessions, forgetting the divine God who had saved us and sustained us. संदिख तुहे साध नहीं कहियो, सरनु परे तुमरी पगरी। कह कबीर बिनती सुनिया, मत कालो जम की खबरी। O Vaheguru, though we are not your devotees, being your faithless slaves, but now we have sought your support, says Kabir. O God, our only prayer to you is to protect us from Yama's noose. बिलावल दरमा दे ठाडे दरबार, तुझ बिन सुरत करे को मेरी, दर्शन दीजै खोल किवार। रहाओ तुम तन तनी उदार त्यागी, सर्वनन सुनियत सुजस तुम्हार। मागो काहे रंक सब देखो, तुम ही ते मेरो निस्तार। जय देव नामा बिप सुदामा, तिनको कृपा भई है अपार। कहे कबीर तुम समरथ दाते, चार पदार्थ देत ना बार। O Vaheguru, we have been engrossed in the worldly falsehood, Maya, but now are waiting for your grace at your door. May you give us a glimpse of your vision by opening these gates, as there is no one else except you who could care for us. Pause, O Vaheguru, you are the fountainhead for all grace, wealth, and detached from the world. We have heard with our ears your praises being sung. Whom else should I seek these favors from, as I find all others are powerless and helpless, and you are our only protector. O Vaheguru, you have bestowed all your grace and benevolence on Jayadev, Namdev, and the Brahman Sudama. O Kabir, the God is greatest benefactor, being almighty, and he does not take long to bestow on us all the four treasures of duty, wealth, beauty, and salvation. Bilaval Danda Mundra Khintha Adhari Pram Ke Paye Pave Pekh Tari आसन पवन दूर कर बवरे छोड़ कपट नित हर भज बवरे राव जह तू जाचे सो त्रिपवन पोगी कह कबीर कैसो जग जोगी। O yogi, you are not a true yogi, but you remain engrossed in worldly falsehood and show off business, having a staff in hand, wearing large earrings in the ears, and a death-like headdress with a satchel in the arms. Thus you are roaming around in dual-mindedness. O fool, leave aside the yogic practice of performing asanas, various yogic exercises, or stopping your breath artificially. O fool, leaving aside these vicious and sinful actions, try to recite God's true name. Pause, O Kabir, the worldly falsehood Maya, which you are running after for worldly possessions, is functioning in all the three worlds with attraction. The yogi should recite God's true name, who is pervading in the whole world. Bilaval in Maya Jagdish Gusai tumre charan bisare किंचत प्रीत न उपजय जन को जन कहा करे बेचारे रहाओ त्रिग तन त्रिग ए माया त्रिग त्रिग मत बुध फनी इस माया को दृढ़ कर राखो बांधे आओ बचने क्या खेती क्या लेवा दे पर पंच झूठ गुमाना कह कबीर ते अंत बिगुते आया काल निदाना। O God, O Master of the world, your devotee slaves have not developed the love of God due to the love of Maya, so what should they do? This Maya has forced them to forsake your lotus feet, thus leaving the support of God. Pause, O man, cursed be this body, wealth, Maya, and the deceitful mind. O Vaheguru, may you control this Maya with your strong support, as this Maya causes man's bondage as per your will. O Kabir, even farming, lending money, or dealing in business, or getting involved in egoism in this world is all unreal and false. When the death befalls on this human in the end, then one undergoes the sufferings badly.